Early modern Spain. The Catholic monarchs. Who were the Catholic monarchs? In 1469, Fernando of Aragon and Isabel of Castilla married. Later on, they became known as the Catholic monarchs. Isabel's brother, Enrique, King of Castilla, named her as his heir. When he died, the supporters of Enrique's daughter, Juana, and the supporters of Isabel started a war. Isabel won the war in 1479. The two kingdoms united and Spain became a unified state. Who were the Catholic monarchs? The Catholic monarchs created a modern state and expanded their kingdom to include the Canary Islands, Melilla, and Navarra. They also conquered Granada and gave money to Columbus for a voyage of discovery. The discovery of America marks the beginning of the early modern age. What was the Spanish Inquisition? Fernando and Isabel established the Inquisition in 1478. This was an organization with special powers to find people who didn't follow the official Catholic religion. The Inquisition arrested and interrogated people. Sometimes people were tortured and killed. The Age of Discovery. What happened in the Age of Discovery? Many explorers made voyages to distant places. They discovered and conquered new lands and people. These explorers were called conquistadors. In 1492, Christopher Columbus went on a voyage from Spain to find a western route to Asia. He landed on the Caribbean islands. He discovered America, but he believed he was in Asia. Columbus made 3 more voyages after that. What were the consequences of the Age of Discovery? Europeans learned more about geography and established new sea routes. Spain became a powerful empire and one of the richest countries in Europe. New products were introduced in Europe, such as cocoa and the potatoes. European religion and culture were imposed to the people. Also, new diseases killed millions of native people. Slavery was introduced in America. The Habsburgs. Who were the Habsburgs? In the 16th and 17th century, Spain was ruled by the Habsburg dynasty. Under the Habsburgs, Spain became an enormous international empire. This empire included lands in Europe, Asia, Africa, and America. At the beginning of the 18th century, the Habsburg dynasty ended. Carlos I and Felipe II were the most important Habsburg kings. Who were the lesser Habsburgs? Felipe III, Felipe IV, and Carlos II are known as the Lesser Habsburgs because they were less powerful and less successful than Carlos I and Felipe II. Art and culture in the early modern age. During the period of the Catholic monarchs and the Habsburg dynasty, 2 styles appeared. The Renaissance. The Renaissance artists used perspective in their paintings and the human body looked more realistic. The Baroque. Baroque artists mixed light and shadows. They tried to express a lot of emotions. What was the Golden Age? In the 16th and 17th century, there were many great artists and writers in Spain, so this period is known as the Golden Age. Some of the Spanish artists who became famous in this period are El Greco, Murillo, and Velázquez. Some of these Spanish writers who became famous are Tirso de Molina, Cervantes, and Lope de Vega. The Bourbons. Who were the Bourbons? Felipe V ruled with absolute power in the first half of the 18th century. He centralized the government. He also eliminated local laws and institutions. He divided Spain into provinces. Carlos III ruled Spain in the second half of the 18th century. He made many changes to improve the country and the lives of the Spanish people. He improved the road system, the cities, and built canals. What was the Enlightenment? The Enlightenment was a new way of thinking that became popular in Europe in the 18th century. Many European monarchs were influenced by the Enlightenment. They wanted to modernize their countries and improve their people's living conditions. These monarchs are known as the Enlightened Despots. Carlos III was an Enlightenment despot. He created new institutions. Early modern Spain. What have we learned? The Catholic monarchs united Castilla and Aragon, created a modern state, conquered Granada, supported Columbus, gained the Canaries, Melilla, and Navarra. What have we learned? The Habsburgs were Carlos I and Felipe II. Spanish Empire, Felipe III, Felipe IV, and Carlos II, less powerful. Some of the most important people in the Golden Age were artists, El Greco, Velázquez, Murillo, and writers, Cervantes, Lope de Vega, Tirso de Molina. The Bourbons were Felipe V, who centralized government, and Carlos III, who modernized Spain and created new institutions.